Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well and everyone is doing okay. I just want to introduce myself right now. I mean, I may look similar to Half Hope, even some may even say identical, but my name is HTH. My name is Have the Hope. I am a egotistical extension of Have Hope, but we don't share the same views. Now, this was a video that I feel Have Hope was fearful of, but I think it is a video that has to be made, and I think that there are some home truths that I think Have Hope is too scared and too fearful to really put out there. So I just thought, as Have the Hope, I feel that I'm much more of a level-headed, opinionated dude who can really try and actually just offer some better understanding with regards to footballing matters. And I think, Have Hope is very stubborn. He's extremely stubborn, but he's stubborn to a fault. And his stubbornness has forced him not to be able to see the simple and the obvious truth that times change. Times change. Him rejecting Messi and Cristiano's greatness, I think, is completely foolish and just completely unwise, because football has simply changed. 100% you can appreciate what the likes of a Ronaldo, R9 and a Zidane did back in their days. But the very fact that they were not able to sustain such greatness for even up to 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I think makes them fall short in those arenas. Nobody in the history of the game has been consistent as a Cristiano or a Messi. They simply haven't. They have redefined what it means to be great and how to be great for a large period of time. With regards to the club game, what they've done simply is unmatched. When you look at trophies won, the amount of Champions Leagues won, these previous goats can only dream of the amount of Champions Leagues these players have won and how much they could still potentially win, because they're still hungry for these Champions Leagues. When you look at the amount of goals they've scored, the frequency of goals, the goal records that they've broken, both domestically and in the Champions League, is simply unheard of. So if these players are doing things that we've never ever seen, isn't that a sign of greatness? When we see Messi, a playmaker, a pass genius, a goal scorer, how he has moved from being a superb goal scorer to a playmaker, how he's moved from playing in a 4-3-3 to being much more deeper and a playmaker and being given a free role, that's incredible. When we look at a Cristiano who moved from being a traditional winger to an attacking winger and now to a goal scorer, an inside forward goal scorer, that's simply incredible. That in itself is greatness, how you are able to be great in a multitude of positions and a multitude of ways, and how you can go to different teams and still say what's up and still right. So to not recognize their achievements and also that their achievements completely and totally destroy anything that any other club player has done is completely crazy. Now we look at the international game. Can we truly say that the World Cup is still actually, in fact, the same kind of quality as it was in yesteryear? Because as of right now, Champions League is the elite competition. It simply is. Of course, we all love the World Cup. Of course, we all respect the World Cup. But saying that these players have not yet won a World Cup, or they're not scored in a World Cup knockouts game, is somehow taking away their greatness simply doesn't make any sense. You have to look at the parameters involved and what they've been able to do, because first of all, the club seasons are far more demanding as they have been before, and the very fact that these players have been playing at such a high level for such a long time shows you the amount of energy that they exert during these domestic seasons as opposed to a Zidane, a Ronaldinho, or an R9. But when you look at even what these players have done for their countries beyond just goals, it's been amazing. Because if we're just saying because they're not scoring any goals, that's being a stats merchant, which for Have Hope, that is wrong. Because I thought you said that you're not a stats merchant, Mr. Have Hope. And when you say, okay, they haven't won the World Cup yet, are you now going to now say because they've not won the World Cup, you're not going to completely ignore all the things that they've now done in the club game? Would that be wise to do? And people will say, okay, look, it's an Argentina and so forth. All because they have great players doesn't actually mean that they have a great team. And when you look at the amount of stuff that Messi has to do, did Maradona have to carry the same amount of weight for his team than Messi has done for his Argentina team right now? And again, when you look at the 2014 team, yes, it was a team that Beyer constructed well, that got to the final. But was that team really as functional as the German team? Were they truly as effective as the German team? And even when you look at the semi-final, they were even lucky to get to penalties. You know, they were like a Robin shot away from actually being knocked out. So as good as the team may have been in getting to the final, were they actually a functional team that could actually be effective in actually winning games? I don't think they were, comparison to Germany or Holland. So yet again, these two players who have completely redefined the game in club-wise have had to do too much. And when you look at for a Cristiano again, are Portugal really an international heavyweight? Because before 2016, they had never won an international trophy. France had won international trophies before they won the World Cup. Rather, the 2016 was Portugal's first ever international trophy. It's proof that they're simply not an international heavyweight. That is proof. But even more so, when we look at greatness, that's the key word, greatness. Greatness is in and of itself. We can't just take, and this is the issue that Mr. Havop has. And I know Havop will hate me for doing this, but this is the issue that Mr. Havop has. When we use the word greatness, who says greatness has to coincide with winning a World Cup? Who comes up with that? Who created that rule? Greatness is just greatness. And you can be great in a multitude of ways. R9 is great based on the impact he had on his game as a player and the credible thing he did in O2. Zidane is great based on what he did in the Champions League, what he did in the World Cup, and what he did as a player. Maradona, same thing, for what he did for Napoli and what he did in the World Cup and what he also did in the World Cup as well for Argentina. But when you look at a Messi and a Cristiano, the greatness that they have achieved is how they've redefined the club game, unlike any other player in history. And it's twofold. So Cristiano and Messi don't have the World Cup achievements that an R9, Zidane, or Maradona has. But Maradona, R9, and Zidane cannot even sniff what Messi and Cristiano have achieved and what they've done in the club game. They simply cannot do that. The very fact that these guys have dominated a decade or more of being the best player in the world with regards to Ballon d'Or and personal achievements just shows you their incredible individual impacts upon the game. So the key thing is when we look at the word greatness, greatness exists within a vacuum. And we cannot connect the word greatness solely to what you've done in the World Cup and what you've done in the club game and combining those two. No, greatness exists within a vacuum. And because greatness exists within a vacuum, then we have to look at what have you done in order to be great. I'm sorry, Mr. Havop, dominating the game, being at a very high level, breaking records that nobody has ever broken, and doing things that we've never ever seen in the history of one of the oldest sports in the world, that in itself is great. And I think that we have to appreciate what both of these players have done. We simply have to. Of course, we appreciate Edinho, we appreciate Annan, and we appreciate what they did. But I think the key thing about Havop is he doesn't want to evolve. And he doesn't want to evolve with the times. Things change. Life changes. Society changes. Everything changes. And once things change, you have to adapt to that change. Nothing ever truly stays the same. Quite literally. Nothing ever truly stays the same. And Havop is still viewing the world in the late 90s, 2000 stage, which is the fact of like, you have to win a World Cup. You have to do something great. You have to have that great moment, which was great, which was what was needed back in the day. But now it's a new world. It's a new, different world. The rules have changed because football has evolved. Things have evolved. And we have to, again, I have to keep hammering this message through. Yes, maybe the Messi and Cristiano don't have the great iconic moments at international tournaments, especially in the latter stages that Zidane, Annan, or Maradona has. But I have to say, shouldn't we take points away from Maradona, Zidane, and Annan by the fact that they couldn't give me 5 years of being dominant? That they couldn't give me a 1 year of 91 goals in a calendar year. None of them could give me breaking the Champions League goal scoring record. Shouldn't we take points away? Because if we're not going to look at the World Cup, we have to also look at the club game as well. And the players of yesteryear simply don't even scratch the surface. Simply even scratch the surface of what Messi and Cristiano have done within the club game. So when we're looking at that word greatness, the issue that Hartford has is he is making an objective term subjective. He is putting in his subjective bias into the word great, but the word great is an objective term. Because if you go into the dictionary and look, what is the definition of greatness? Now, I don't know the exact definition, but I can sort of paraphrase. It is achieving something truly exceptional, beyond the realms of normality, the extraordinary, that exceeds what we come to expect. So surely, if we look at that word greatness, dominating for more than a decade, 91 goals in a calendar year, being successful for 2, 3, 4 different teams, scoring countless goals in the Champions League, 3 Champions League medals in a row, being a pivotal part of that, being part of 2 treble-winning teams. These are extraordinary things. These are things beyond the realm of normal. So by that definition, surely shouldn't these players be just as great as the players of yesteryear? Guys, this has been Have the Hope. Please don't inform half of this because I'm sure he's fearful of this video going out on his channel.